Well, thank you guys. I appreciate your taking the time to go ahead and talk with us on an exciting day for Volvo. Wow. I mean, press releases are just coming left and right. And it got me thinking. I was thinking, okay, there's been so much movement for Volvo VNR Electric, so much. Are you potentially positioning yourselves here to be, say, the top brand for all electric Class 8?
I think, Tom, we're always positioning ourselves to take a lead position.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the Volvo Group in the world, I think we are leading in many areas. We're leading in safety, and in some areas we're leading in market shares. In some areas we're not leading in market share. But we always try to, if I can say it a little bit simple, we try to do our best and we try to be a leader. What we have said now specifically for electromobility, what the group has said, we want to lead the transformation from fossil-based to fossil-free transport solution, to be a little bit formal.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that through with speed.
Mm-hmm.
And so we decided then to come out with the VNR Electric as we know it today, because we believe that we don't have that much time left anymore, and we just want to get going. Mm-hmm. So we want to lead the transformation. Whether we will be the lead manufacturer of electric vehicles, I don't know. I mean, but yeah, I mean, of course, we try to do whatever we can in order to be a very significant player, if I may call it like that. But I don't want to be overly arrogant neither. Mm-hmm. What we do, however, and I think that is the important thing, we want to lead the transformation towards into electromobility.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. And so, thinking about, say, some of the hurdles that have been in place for some fleets, in other words, the hesitancy that might prevent them from signing up for an all-electric Class A. What are some of those bigger hurdles, do you think? Is it, say, the cost, maybe the size of space needed for the chargers themselves? What are some of those hurdles preventing some fleets from signing up, do you think, for all-electric Class A?
Let me give you a little bit of general statements, but then I'm going to ask Keith maybe to go a bit more practical, so to speak, because of course in the Lights project we have learned a lot on what the hurdles are. Well, let's go directly to Keith. What were the hurdles? What did we learn in the Lights project that are reasons for slowing down decisions?
Yes, so from the announcements in 2019. We put together a project team, and we are prime contractor. That meant we were responsible for all the partners and the execution per se. And actually the truck build went together pretty smoothly because we were transferring the technology that was proven in Europe into the VNR model. And we know that's the right truck for fleets, especially in the driver acceptance of the safety features that are there, the maneuverability, the handling, all of those inherent qualities, adding the electric driveline, which again, we had some experience with. We knew we were going to have to tailor it for US applications, that there are customer differences, there are differences in speed, there are differences in road profile that we knew had to be there. But I think also the big challenge for us was to realize that when you go to a site and you start talking to the customer or owner about adding infrastructure and putting chargers in place, now you need to bring the utility along because they have to upgrade the transformer. They may have to bring in a larger line just to power the site. And now you've got a local utility that doesn't have the building permits allowing the construction to begin until you provide them with the site drawings and explanations. So step by step, we had a number of challenges. And this was not a playbook that we could go pull off the wall that we had done before. It was learning each and every day, bringing in first responders, bringing in the local fire and rescue and people that can give them training of what happens when a truck is down on the side of the road. So thinking differently to expect these new challenges, I think were some of the help that we were able to bring to the fleets that said, okay, we're ready to try this, but we don't know where to start. And that's where we took our role as the OEM to bring these partners together to get started.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so you've had, I know, some positive feedback on all electric drivers in particular. Could you speak to that a little bit more, driver acceptance?
What we, I actually drove, I'm not a full-time driver, but I mean, I have my seat on, I drive trucks myself. What I noticed the first time I was driving the truck, and that goes for a lot of drivers, is that first of all, as we've used, the VNR, as we already know that truck, I mean, that was launched in 2017. So as a driver, when I get into this VNR Electric, it's the same truck. I know the environment, which is it's a very good driver environment, so I'm familiar with how the truck works, and that of course is very convenient. Then the only difference is you don't have a tachometer, you have a power indicator that indicates how much power you use, when are you regenerating. That's a little bit different, but you get used to that rather quickly. So after that, when you're driving, and then all of a sudden you don't hear, you indicated that yourself, but it's important to emphasize, there is hardly any noise in the cabin. That's a huge impact on fatigue. You have significantly lower vibrations in the cabin, which is also a big impact on fatigue. And with that, it becomes, for me, it felt like less hard work, if that makes sense. So very pleasant to drive, very familiar. And then the only thing, but I think that goes for diesel and for electric the same. The only thing you need to learn is how do you drive then in an energy, not fuel, but energy efficient way in an electric truck. But that's the same with the diesel truck. So it's a very pleasurable experience. What I know, and maybe Keith can chime in, he has more direct contact with the customers than I do. What I understand is that many drivers, once they are in an electric truck, actually don't want to go back anymore. I don't know if you can say something about that.
Yes, I mean, we knew that they were going to complement. It's so quiet. They can hear emergency vehicles. They can hear other traffic, which makes them feel safer. We knew they would like the power, the acceleration, which is very strong. But what was surprising, Tom, was they said the truck is more stable. And when you think about it, because the batteries in the electric driveline are lower, it gives you a stable center of gravity. So that's another new learning that we found through the driver experience of the Volvo lights.
So it seems like it's
good that, sorry, Tom, good that you mentioned that. What I forgot to say that is that, of course, the torque, is, how much is it for?
It's over 4,000 pound-feet, which is 2 to 3 times what they experience in a diesel. And we actually have to control that so that we don't wear the tire, but also it's very good for pulling away.
Yeah, it's because it's available at 1 kilometer an hour or 1 mile an hour if you want, because it works in a completely different way. So that gives you much more control over the vehicle.
So it seems possible then it could help, say, with driver retention, driver recruitment then.
Very much. We see that as especially the driver that is more relaxed after their long shift. Like you said, don't smell the diesel on their clothes when they're done. But I think also, we've got to reach out because of the driver shortage in this country and bring new people into this industry.
Yeah.
Sure. I wanted to shift to microgrids because, of course, right, good success on that front thus far. DHE in Southern California through the Lights project, and I'm seeing more of that today. Trillium had announced, right, microgrid vis-a-vis renewable natural gas generator on site. Do you foresee microgrid playing a bigger role then in the days to come with a Class 8 electric, whether it's solar or otherwise?
Peter and I will take a turn at this.
Okay.
What we learned is that everybody knows the price of diesel, both nationally and locally. But few people know the price of electricity because it varies based on the time of day, whether it's off-peak, whether it's demand or peak hours, right?
Yep.
And few people understand that it's different with each utility company. Right? And their rates to a customer. So what we have learned by looking at the whole ecosystem is how can we reduce the total cost of energy, which is like a fuel. In many cases, when customers are investing in solar, they see this as a way is managing these peak hours, right? And then together with a microgrid, having a backup, having resiliencies, because we know that you're going to have times of stress to the electric utility companies, right?
Yeah.
With the wildfire situation, especially here in the West, they will reduce electricity to non-essential users. So I think we're going to have to manage this so that they always have power available.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Peter, did you want to weigh in on that as well? The microgrid application?
No, I think what Keith said covers it all. Maybe with one small addition then is that when you go on with your own solar panel, so to speak, that's of course an immediate statement of clean energy, right? Because electric vehicles are the way, electric trucks are the way towards zero emission transport solutions, providing that it's on renewable energy.
Question and on NFI, just a quick some feedback on that. That's a big deal, obviously, right? They're poised to become the largest Class 8 fleet here with the VNRs, electric VNRs. Peter and then Keith, if you could quickly weigh in on that.
What a great customer, right?
Fantastic customer. Yeah, we're very happy with them. I mean, we have learned a lot with them, not only from them but with them. They're a true pioneer, and they play a very important role in the industry and the shift towards battery electric and electric vehicles in general.
Mm-hmm. All right, excellent. Okay, well, I appreciate your time and continued success, and hopefully I'll be out there next year. So thank you so much, guys, for your time.
Thank you, Tom. Have a good day.